Alright. So I forgot to hit the record to disk function here. So cool, no one gets to see the opening part where I made myself look a little silly. Hey RBW, hey Jeannie. I don't know who else is in chat, but hi to y'all. Happy Friday. Uh, so let's do the part two of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Yeah. All right, let's see. So just to recap, because we didn't stream yesterday, um, we met with what was her face? Nina, that was her name. And she's a runaway, and she's sort of obscuring herself as some sort of Russian revolutionary, but doing a terrible job at it. And we got to have our first duel with the himbo, otherwise known as Sherlock, excuse me, Sherlock Sholmes. Yeah, we don't know where he is. It's okay. He's fine. He's okay. He's being Herlock. And now I have handcuffs on again. It was a rush job. Well, to be fair, yes. And she's also 15. Trying to pass herself for some 40-ish-year-old revolutionary. Herlock Sholmes, copyright 1908, original character, do not steal. I agree. Let's see what this bloke has to say. Alright, Beef, do you have anything to say for yourself? Oh, there's lots of things I want. Let me be real with you. Sure, that was fun. Maurice LeBlanc, yeah, Jesus. Oh dear. Hey, Kira. Alright, so he's... Yeah, your face is not forgettable. I'm sorry, Ryu. Yeah, see, Sasato's on the same side as me. Alright, so let's take a look what we got here. We already taken a look at this. We have taken a look at this. Interesting. Let me guess, is Biff gonna come out? Or Beef, excuse me. Biff? Biff? Ugh. Hell, we have Biff in frickin' Return to the... Sorry, is it Back to the Future 1 we had... Biff was in there? I think he was actually in a couple of... We don't want to touch that. Well, are we talking about, like, copyright and trademark and that sort of thing, exemptions? Or is there something that I'm overlooking here, Jeannie? Oh, maybe. Alright, so we're probably gonna have to, like, make certain there's nothing else we need to do here, but I don't think there's any clues left here. It's kind of interesting, though. You notice that one light is on, that one light isn't, so it's like only one light in this room is actually turned on. So we can't go in there, that's locked out to us. Let's go in here. They're still investigating. Do they actually have police officers on this ship? Like, let me... I'm a little unclear about this. I love how disappointed she looks. Aw. Well, there's not much life left in him because of the consumption. So, You know. Oh, hey, we have music again. We have music. Alright, let's see what he has to say. I went to the bathroom. Don't worry about me. I'm a huge fan of Arsène Lupin, so that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny, RBW. Most of his humor's... Oh god. His humor's actually spelt that way? I thought it was with the E-R-S. Gotcha. Is Maurice LeBlanc related to Matt LeBlanc? Ha ha ha. Oh, maybe that's why I know the... I don't remember the spelling. Because I've only, like... The concept of humors, is like something I only read about when I was starting to read some stuff in French, and I was like, what the fuck is this humor shit? And this is like when I was younger. And I don't know, I guess that's the first spelling I ever learned of it. Where does Sasato keep that book? It seems like a very impractical place to keep a book, but that's just me. Alright, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna talk to you last because it's probably gonna go places. Fair enough. I love how she's just like, let's do this. Alright, so we got here. This story is so weird. Yeah, me too. It's so weird that he wrote his last words in Cyrillic, a script that Japan is known for using. Like, I did study Japanese when I was in university, and one of the things that, I will say is that Japanese is far easier the moment that you learn how to use its scripts. So, like, once you learn hiragana or katakana or kanji, the language becomes easier to read, whereas when you read everything in Romaji, it sucks. So I'm just imagining, like, Japanese being real in Cyrillic and how awful that would be. All the nuances and everything would just be gone. Okay, so we have anything here. We don't have anything there. The sword is still there. This is a whole bunch of stuff. This is still up. Alright, let's go talk to Hosonaga. Hey, the consumption's really getting to you, isn't it? It's just the consumption. Yeah, it's just the consumption. Yeah, just scratches from the consumption. Russians are known for bears. Alright, you got a point there, Genie. I'm used to this. Don't worry about it. I've been coughing up blood for ages. What's a little extra? Yeah, Herlock Sholmes, known German name. Alright, let's see here. Are we gonna get, like... Okay, we're not gonna get, like, this phony Hosonaga dance, whatever. I imagine Naruhodo... No, he couldn't survive to do that dance. He would just die. God, the consumption really gets to him. I think that's... Hey, Hosonaga? Yeah, hey, Hosonaga? Probably don't. Oh, then again, we haven't had the other Ace Attorney games come up yet, technically speaking, so maybe he can just believe this. Alright, so we're somewhere between Shanghai and Hong Kong. Alright, what's this new information? And is he gonna have to get new glasses? Alright, let's do the Great Detective. We'll deal with that second. Yeah, that seems about right. I don't think so. He says a lot of things. Oh, just one. Oh, and he shouted. Okay, fair enough. Hey! Didn't I make a remark when I first saw this? Was that scuff on the floor was from a shoe? Yeah. My powers of deduction. They are intensifying. Okay. So burgundy, crimson. What other colors can we say that would look like wine? Rose? Okay, what does it say? Damage to the cervical vertebrae, so his neck broke. Yes, his neck broke. One to object. Well, that's some blunt evidence right there. Would leave a bruise, though. Yeah, sure. We'll hold on to it. Aww. All those remarks about the consumption. And I feel bad for Hosonaga. Hey, Jeff. Alright. No traces of poison. Hey, let's be real here. We know a little bit about the lack of poison that can occur. Just putting that out there for y'all. Rest in peace, Hosonaga. You helped us quite a bit. Here's a question. Has Hosonaga had any sleep since the ship departed? Like, was supposed to be Kazuma's bodyguard, but is he allowed to sleep? Hmm. Alright, what are we doing now? Hey, wait, we can look at this again. Well, okay, here we go. Thank you, Sasato, for being the most responsible person on this ship. Oh, geez, Sasato, you would hate my bookshelf. So here's a question for y'all. How do you all arrange your books? Because I actually don't give a damn. Like, I guess some of them, like, they're technical books, so they'll sit together. But I know for some people that's, like, horrific. So what, in Roy G. Biv? I kind of just go based off, like, the size of the book, and then order it based on that. And usually try and, like, theme it, so, like, if this is manga or fictional or whatever, then they stay together. Big books usually go on the bottom of the bookshelf. But, like, I'm pretty certain, like, if somebody saw my bookshelf, they would look at me and be like, you're a freaking monster. Yeah, like, I don't really care about... Like, I just care about, like, if whether or not, like, they actually look nice in the order they're in, and that they're largely themed together. But I don't really go beyond that. I don't really go pee out for that. Jesus Christ. Web Captioner is such a nightmare sometimes. Go inside here, I guess? This could go bad real fast. Hey, everything... Oh, never mind. Hey, wait! Oh, jeez. Hey, that suitcase is open. Is that the box? Is that the suitcase with the snake? Because that could be bad. Oh, hey, is she pulling a Maya? I don't like the idea of us wandering in a room with that suitcase open. I really don't like that suitcase being open. I really don't like that suitcase being open. Hey, have I told you all that I really don't like that suitcase being open? Because let me tell you once again, I don't like that suitcase being open. I like her. Yeah. All right, well let's read this first. We will touch the suitcase after the fact. I don't want to touch it immediately because God knows it's probably gonna like trigger a cutscene of some sort. Hey, Sasato, if this is what I think it is, maybe not call it that. Now let's take a look at the books. She didn't want us to look earlier. Hey, Chaos. I'm rather uncomfortable that the suitcase is open. It's something I don't like. No, don't touch the... no, hey, Sasato, probably shouldn't do this. Sigh. What's the deal with this bag? Okay. She's had it with all these Mother Russia snakes on this Mother Russia boat. Oh. Yeah, anyway. Alright, let's take a look at this. Okay, you know, air circulation still sucks in the 21st century, so, you know, for it to suck in the 19th century, okay. Like, it's 150 years later and we still suck at moving air around and building homes to have adequate air circulation. Mind you, we just don't want to spend the fucking money, that's the problem. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, right? Anyway, straying away from that topic, I got a question. What are the contents of that Sorry, that content. What are the contents of that suitcase? You got a plate here. Is that for the contents? It must be for the contents. Yeah, imagine giving a saucer out for the contents of that suitcase. Yeah, sure, it's a leak. Yep, that's a saucer for the leak in the ship. Alright, we got that. She likes straight... that's probably a coffee. Is it a teapot? No, I guess it would be a teapot. Are Russians a coffee or tea country? Don't say vodka. Like, it depends, yeah, I guess that makes sense. My former spouse's family was heavy on coffee, and I got the impression that that was a largely Romanian thing. Obviously, Russia and Romania are different countries, but there's a lot of overlap in terms of certain patterns that exist in Eastern Europe, so... No, let's not touch that just yet. Hey, there's a trash bin. Or a waste paper basket. What a word. Oh, Sasato, you were just looking through the girl's closet. Yeah, I think so too. We're investigating a murder. I think those are special circumstances indeed. Oh, that's good. Don't pull it. Fuck. Okay. I wish she didn't pull it. Sasato's not very good at this OPSEC thing, isn't she? Alright, check the door, I guess. Sasato is her own person. Absolutely, she is her own person. She still terrifies me. Like, if I was doing this and she did that, I would be like, hey, if you touch that, I'm gonna, like, rip your hands off. And to be fair, that's probably the most adequate response, because I'm probably gonna have my hands ripped off if you pull that off, or pull that thing. Seems a little cruel, I imagine, but, like, I don't know what else I would respond with. Like, it's either I get the Nosahaga treatment, or I give you a reason to not do that. I don't know. Then again, it is Sasato. Why would I want to hurt her? Alright, let's find out what the hell this thing is. Yeah, special friend. Yeah, special friend. Yep, indeed, special friend. I don't want to know what kind of animal she had in there, because I'm pretty certain it's a special friend. And it's not friend-shaped, that's for sure. Nothing? Yeah, banana. That's what she has pet bananas. that here. What if I go in back into Cosmo's cabin? I have an idea. Okay, so I think we need to stay in that cabin. Alright, let's see what we've missed then. I have an idea. I have an idea. Oh hey, it's the himbo. Sneak up on him, sneak up on him. Just sneak up on him. Oh dear. He is reminiscing about owning Scotland Yard. Is he reading his own book? Is that what he's doing? Detective. He has a... He's gonna go into fisticuffs with us, okay. Amazing. Amazing. Is he punching us? He's what, 30... When was Sinatra born? In the 1920s? Even earlier than that? 1910s? Like, he's a little early for that. Actually, I think he was actually older than that. I think he was born in the 1890s. Well, that's what I was wondering too, but I don't know if that's what he was singing. Like, what Sinatra song would have that been? The logic is inverted? Oh. I did it my way? Oh, okay. Really? Is that what he said? I don't know. He could have been saying that. He could have been singing to that. I'm having a hard time remembering the lyrics to that song and the tune itself, but I do know what you're talking about. There's a murder, so why is it not reported? rather interesting how everyone just seemingly forgot things last night. Oh, that's now in our possession, I guess, so the ship's personnel will not notice the missing book, right? Let me guess, Herlock himself. Why is it... Well, where is Sholm staying in the ship? He doesn't reveal anything about his whereabouts. And if I remember correctly, Susato has not made a remark about her head aching. Then again, aside from me wanting to cut off her hands for pulling that cord, who would want to hit her? Oh, wait, somebody did actually whack her on the head? Never mind. Did everyone just get, like, gassed or something? Like, is there, like, something that'll knock you the fuck out, and then you wake up with what is effectively a weird hangover? Yeah, exactly. He's probably like a stowaway too. It's just that the ship personnel haven't quite figured that one out. Alright, well, now that we have Sholmes amongst us, can we go inside this room? Ah, for fuck's sake. Well, we triggered something. Oh, it's the air raid siren. Don't worry about it. It's just the air raid siren. Oh, well, this is bad. Do you know that's funny how incredibly easy it is because of the way shipping routes work? Oh. Wait, what? Oh, hey, it's turned into Titanic. Oh, darn, the books have been messed with. Beef? Why is the log... Hmm. Because the ship listed in a certain direction. The ship listed in a certain direction. Yeah, let's let the consumption into the room, okay? Yeah, tidy up the room. Hey, Garby. Uh-oh. Dun dun dun. You want to save the current progress? Of course I want to save that progress. That was actually rather short for a segment, if you ask me. Was this part 3 now? Jesus, we're on part 3 of the investigation, but that was like so brief. So I'm gonna have a lot of upset people in here. Beef just doesn't care about us, but Nosahaka, consumption has not taken away all of his emotions. Quite interesting that there's a dense fog in the middle of the South China Sea. Like, how close to the frickin' coast are we? Like, fog is an air inversion situation, right? So... yeah, probably Herlock. Hey, you're not wearing your disguise. What traveling case? Oops. Oh, she's gonna be terrified. The poor girl. Vixen promises not to steal chicken. Wait, what? I don't know if I'd call her a vixen, personally. Yeah, you don't... You don't quite have a good case behind you. Yeah, the Japanese police have authority over the Russian vessel. Let's see here. Alright, what does she have to say? Oh, she said something in Russian. I don't know what she said, but she said something in Russian. I'm surprised that we're able to stay in this room like this without anyone... Wait. Hey, which side are you on? Let's see. No kidding. No kidding. I gotta find a clue. I'm just so desperate for a clue. I just need a clue. You have the consumption. That's worse than a punch to the face, I would argue. The savior will be in the form of a himbo. Okay, let's do this and then we'll go with the himbo. Yeah, no kidding. Some unusual avenues. Yeah, I don't know who said someone gonna be. Alright, let's see. What options do we have in this room? There's the saucer for the snake. Because it's probably a snake, right? Alright, let's talk to him. It's... He's doing calisthenics. Okay. Well, that's Holmes, everyone. That's Sholmes, excuse me. And why are you wearing the, tiara? The weight of 20,000 rubles. Well, apparently it's worth $300,000 US. The Great Detective. We have proof that Kazuma wasn't killed by Ryu. Yeah, and my fee will be this tiara. Of course it does. Capsaicin. Well, to be fair, the handcuffs were put on by Sholmes. Yep, that's fair. That's pretty fair. A locked room scenario. I love her jacket. Okay, where's this going? Oh cool, it's the ventilator. What a shock. Yeah. Oh, this is the snake, isn't it? It's a snake. It's the pet. It's the special friend. Speckled ban is a type of snake. Could be a badger? I'm going to punch the snake. Yep, I'm all about punching snakes. Yep, that is a way to take on a snake. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Well, that's not terrifying at all. How's Beef doing? How is Beef? Ah, the speckled band, the star-speckled band. Oh, say, can you see? Anyway. Oh, snake, can you see? There we go. Now we can say, I'm tired of these Mother Russia snakes on this Mother Russia boat. It's a little fucked up to have as a pet if it can do this. And Biff is just... Is Biff breathing? Would he notice? Alright, where's this going? Oh dear. What's the friend's name, I wonder? Was it Snakey? Is it Slithers? Wow. Well, you know, a VCR is often right twice a day. Though he can't speak, but can he breathe? Oh, here we go again, everyone. Yep, let's go for this ride. The poor girl. Biff is just so cool about this. Like, I don't understand. Like, if I had a snake wrapped around my head, I'd be flipping the fuck out. The fact that the snake can pull the whole body like this is even worse. How's it even achieving that? Okay. Well, snakes do shed their skin. Like, all at once. Okay. Like, I'm buying what Sholmes is saying here. But something tells me I should not be ready to buy what he's saying is correct. I'm rather uneasy about suggesting that Sholmes is correct here. Oh, is it? Am I right to be a little bit nervous about agreeing with Herlock Sholmes? It's kind of fucked up that we're basically pinning this all on a 15-year-old girl who only ran away from the ballet troupe that effectively enslaved her. And, like, this is her only friend in the whole world, I assume? Like, she's escaping to Russia. She probably has no social life. Like, who are her parents? Who are... It doesn't matter. I would still feel some level of empathy for the young girl here who is basically getting proven to be potentially responsible for a murder. Or I guess a death, really. She didn't really contribute to a murder if this is the case. She just sort of made it happen. Why is Kazuma writing it in Russian though? Like, I guess Kazuma might have taken the time to learn Russian. Okay. Yeah, that would be my expression too. I wouldn't say she trained him as a killing spree. I don't think that... I don't think she intended to kill Kazuma. Yeah, there's just something that I'm looking forward to what's gonna come up for this. Yes, 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 please, Sasato. Please, please, sweetie, I'm in for this. Here we go. I hope there's a dog. I hope there is a dog. I would like to have a dog here. But then putting a dog inside of a suitcase would be incredibly fucked up. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I didn't think snakes could hear, but I wasn't, like, quite certain. Like, I thought snakes, like, had missile. No, they rely on vibrations. That's how they know what the hell's going on. Like, they just have... They taste the air, they sense the vibrations in the ground, and then they have eyes. And I have no idea how effective their eyes are in the grand scheme of things, but I was like, I could almost swear that snakes do not have the ability to hear. Or rather, if they do, it's like so minute that it's negligible. Oh, the himbo. The himbo's been put down the size. Cut down the size? Yeah, cut down the size. I realized I messed up my terminology there. Oh, was it? So this was word for word what Doyle had originally done? Because that's hilarious. The thing is like, I'm not... Yeah, I was just gonna ask, though, like, snakes... Is it really important in the grand scheme of things? Like, is it, like, useful? Because I know there's some animals out there that, like, have evolved to have, like, eyes that are effectively useless because they have other senses that just really work better. Like, I don't know much about snake anatomy to actually... Hey, look at the handcuffs are gone. I don't know much about snake anatomy. Wait, didn't we just have one? Yeah, that's kind of that's good to know. Let's see here.
Yes!
Okay. This is fun. This is a lot. This is a lot of fun, by the way. I'm really enjoying this mechanic that I'm working with. That would make sense. The vibration of caused by people speaking. Yeah, the snake caused the scratches, by the way. I don't... That's a rather cryptic line of thinking there. Does she have like a tiger as a pet? Yeah, but it's not a snake. A snake can't make a scratch like that. They have very sharp fangs. That's terrifying, Jeff. Please do not share that image. To follow her gaze...
Yes!
No, that's not it. No, but there's a cat in that photo. There's a cat in that photo. So we have a cat. You're a cat. Well, no, no. I guess the game wanted you to think that you would select the cat, the photo of the girl and the cat, but where's the cat then? Where's her cat, though? Her eyes are looking like... Oh, yeah, I guess I'm doing this shit again where like I start pointing in a direction. But like, okay, so let me do it this way. Okay, this will make more sense. So like, she's looking off in this direction. So if I was Pavlov, if I was her, where... The other... Like, it's not the serpent. The thing is, they've already, like, looked at that, so, like... Like... Let's see here. It's the frame that's your friend. Like, this is the thing. Like, you see, the frame is not our friend. It's the contents of the frame. We only have a couple options. The teapot. I don't know. Is it the... There's two options I can pick here. The teapot or a Seaman Stroganoff. This one's a little obtuse, like... Alright, well...
Yes!
No, it's not it. No, it's not it. It's like, okay, then it is the teapot. The fuck is going on here? Let me just make a quick little save here. This is really silly, but whatever. This is fun to actually get. This is terrible. Is it the teapot? Is the cat in the teapot? Like, I don't know. Where is she looking? This is a little bit obtuse. Just a little bit. I don't know, like...
Yes!
Okay. No. I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to go through this again. So, is it the snake? What the fuck is this? Can I slide? I can't slide around the room, right? So... It must be the serpent, I guess. Let me double check. I'll select the serpent. Yeah, I'm rather annoyed at the moment too. It's fine, it's okay, but it's like, come the fuck on, like, it's not the cat in the photo? Like, what is it then? There's no, like, other option here, right? So... Yeah, so, like, we're kind of stuck with... Because these are all the only options. You have the photograph, the teapot. It's not... It could be the serpent, but... The only other theory I have is that there's something else here that I cannot see.
Yes!
What the fuck is this? What is this? Oh my god. Okay, I don't want to go through this again. Hold on. What the hell? Like, Okay, it didn't make any sense for it to be the snake in the first place. Is it gonna be... I literally have to highlight the cat in that photo. Is that what it's gonna be? Because that's all I have left for ideas. I was like thinking, is there a cat underneath the table? Is there a cat, like, somewhere underneath Stroganov's legs? Is there something else going on here? No. This game decides that it's probably gonna say, like, no, you have to have the target specifically on the cat, not on the photo. Why can't I pick the damn photo? Anyway. Yeah, that's fine. God, what? Ah, God, this is annoying. Alright, let's do this again. Alright, let's get real specific. Let's see where this is. Look at that cat right there.
Yes!
Ceci n'est pas un chat. Okay, yes, I agree. Ah, because it's not a cat, apparently. What is this nonsense? Swear to God. If you want to make... that's what the back seat's there for. Otherwise, otherwise, no. Want to contribute help? That is what it's there for. She's looking this way, or rather this way, for all of you who are looking. Can I do anything else here with the... God. This is not the serpent. Beef Stroganoff is not dead yet somehow. Where would it be? Like, there's just no idea. Like, there's... like, she's staring towards us. She's staring towards us. There's something I'm missing. The way that to me, she almost looks like she's looking up. but, like, she isn't looking in our direction. I look at the teapot, there's nothing there. We got the photo, but unfortunately the photo is useless to us, apparently. We have the teacup here. At least we know there's a porthole inside of the ship. This is not making any sense to me. I'm sorry for giving y'all very weak content at the moment because I cannot for the life of me figure out where this item is. To me, it's blatantly obvious it should be this cat that's in this photo, right? But if I select the photographic frame, the game goes no. I select the teapot, the game goes no. If I select Mr. Stroganoff, no. No. And there's no other objects that are like being highlighted. So I'm left with two things. Either A, I am overlooking something, and that's what I'm getting thrown off by, or B, I actually have to highlight a hyper-specific spot on whatever object I'm picking, and at that point, it becomes obvious what it is. And I'm pretty certain the moment that I figure this out, I'm going to be incredibly incensed about what the solution was. And y'all are just going to be like, yeah, told ya, so, or something like that. I don't know. This is just so silly. Like, if it's not the cat in the photo, it's the cat in the teapot. Well, I selected that already. It's not Stroganoff, because as far as I know, those two don't have a prior relationship. Then there's this snake, who is a snake, and apparently might be responsible for Kazuma's death. Who the hell knows anymore? Yeah, I know, right? I'm glad that I'm not... I'm just... I am just wondering what this is. Chaos Grunt. What is the answer to this damn thing? So I have an idea. If I... Like, here's a theory. I'm gonna try this again.
Yes!
Yeah, so it's the same shit again. So it's not that. That's not the answer, but like... Alright, let's just save it here so I don't have to go through that conversation again. Okay, so that solves this, so... Oh, if this is the answer, I'm gonna be angry. Hold on a sec, please don't tell me. If this is you, fuck this game. This is bullshit. I fucking hate this. I hate this so much. There is no indication that I can click on the damn things.
Yes!
Anyway. No, I'm refunding that. You don't need... Hey, Elskrat, can you refund that for me, please? I'm so upset right now. So upset. Thank you. I was starting to think, like, it was a UI thing ultimately, at least, but I'm glad that I'm like everyone else. Yeah, this game was being exceptionally rude. That doesn't look like snakeskin. But what is it? Thank you for enduring my annoyance. So what is this? So what is she trying to hide? Okay, I can't examine it. Okay. What is that in her inside of it, though? Cats love little things that flick in the air. Mine doesn't. She isn't a big fan of those things. I don't know, is it a cat's toy?
Yes!
Could you see through the little vent? I guess that would make sense. So what, it, like, the ship suddenly stopped, and it, like, Kazuma just, like, crawl on top of the wardrobe and then broke his neck when the ship suddenly stopped, like it coincidentally happened that way? Like, Darka? What a cute little name. Would you like to be named Darka? I don't think she'd like it. Okay, I could believe that. Why do you have a snake? Okay, so we've gotten through the first... Alright. So what's with the snake, then? That's a good point. Hey, is the word data something that existed in the 1800s? I imagine the answer is yes, but still. Hi, Lizzie. How was your hotfix run? By the way, you all should be following Lizzie Berry. Is that where that's all it is? Okay. But in this context, is it meant to be that way? Aw. I'm gonna just save. Are you gonna let me save or what? Aw, well, I'm glad that you had fun. Let's see here.
Yes!
Assuming that the postmortem report is actually reflective of the reality at hand. Yeah, scientists are always correct. They're a lot more correct these days than they were back then, though. And being more correct is better. The 19th century, now with 50% more correct. My theory is that he fell because the ship suddenly stopped. Let's see here.
Yes!
There we go. I'm impressed. He constructed a device specifically designed to determine if it's shoe polish. Amazing. Is it for the better or for the worse? Congratulations on adopting a standard that the rest of the country uses. I feel so sorry for the cat that was like shoved inside of the traveling case, if that's the case. Ha 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 ha, made a pun. Alright, anyway. Sound scientific principles. Interesting. Hmm. What's this? But there is something in the— hey, it's a bell. I think it's this, but I need to— let's check that conversation again.
Yes!
She's not very good at ditching evidence, isn't she? It's a cat's bell. I wonder where the— oh, I hope the snake didn't eat the cat. Yeah, no, it's— I hope that that terrifying scenario is not correct, because that'll be quite sad. I don't think so, because I think the snake doesn't have any obvious bulges. I think that would be a thing if the snake had done that.
Yes!
Oh, I selected the wrong one. Alright, well, let's see possible item that would be linking it. This is weird. There's some weird latency that's going on with the game all of a sudden.
Yes!
Oh, yeah, fair enough. That was a... What a cute kitty. What's your name? Would you like to have Darka as a name, Luna? I know field sobriety tests are bullshit. Like, breathalyzers are in themselves inherently flawed, but yeah. Yeah, fingerprints are 100% unique and never have overlap at all. DNA is flawless. What else can I say that's completely true about evidence? So then the question remains, what the hell's with the snake? Like, I'm glad that her pet is not a snake. It would have been rather fucked up for her, but then again, she lives a sheltered life. So where's the cat? I don't mind snakes. They're just fucked up. If somebody wants to have a pet snake, they can have a pet snake. I just have zero interest in a pet snake. Birds have wings, though. And they have feet. I think I know the Steven Universe reference. Yeah, my cat's ignoring me. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's a way to go. Poor Kazuma. We'll never see him again. It's like everyone's in disbelief over what's just occurred. I find it incredibly screwed up that she kept the cat in the case. I understand the situation she was in, but it's still... Oh my god, like, my cat, just trying to get her in the carrier sometimes is an exercise in futility. It's a good thing now that my cat and I have a relationship where I can pick her up, but... That's fine. Yeah, my cat weighs like 6.5, 7 kilos, so she's not like the lightest cat, but she lets me cuddle her. If I pick up... Well, my cat probably could stand to be picked up that way, but I'd rather I didn't do that to her. Oh, you finally noticed! Is this his pet? Oh, friend. Pirosco? Pirosco. Is there a reference? What, is it like... Oh, is it pierogi? Is it basically the Russian word pierogi? I like pierogies. Pierogies are delicious. What is it, as boa? He's adorable, like Granny. Wow. So how many packs of cigarettes does your grandma smoke per day? I hope not cats. Please don't say the cat. Please don't say cat. Sholmes is looking a little upset. Rest in peace, Sholmes. Rest in peace. Yep. Sorry to break that to you. Is Sholmes about to laugh? That's the expression he gives when he's about to laugh, right? He's just gonna break down and just laugh like a clown. Hey, he'll be like Mo. Oh, I probably will get that DLC pack. Wow, Sasato. Aw, I'm glad that I helped you purchase a video game there, RBW. She's also a 15-year-old girl who believes that she's responsible for a man's death. Like... I have a level of sympathy for this girl who's been through a lot of shit in her life. Like, yeah, she shouldn't have lied about it, but, like, could you blame her? She's trying to escape from, like, a terrifyingly awful situation. Like, she's basically enslaved to be a ballerina. And then she's probably going to be, like, cast aside the moment that, you know, she's no longer able to be an effective ballerina. So, like, it's perfectly reasonable for her to take an escape attempt to the United States. Okay. Yes. Thanks for saying the line that I just said. Okay. Let's save here, because I already have enough things on my damn game already. Okay.
Hold it!
Okay. This is such a good track, by the way. So... yeah, let's see here. I wonder what the answer is to this. Is it the crime scene photo itself? Yeah, the videotape. Yep, I got that ready.
Yes!
It's Cyrillic, but yes, Russian will work. I'm certain Kazuma picked up a little bit of Russian while on this ship, but Russian is not a simple language. From what I remember reading about Russian, it's not a simple language. Perhaps simpler than English, but I would argue that Japanese is an extremely simple language. Yeah, how do you, like, write after you die? Hey, this is basically Ace Attorney 2 Case 1. Let's see here. Where is this taking us?
Yes!
No? Okay, so it's not that. Thanks for that there, Sholmes. The absence of something you would expect to find at the scene of an accident, or the presence of something you wouldn't. So then what was at the scene of the crime that we didn't see before? Wow, that's some that's some shade that was thrown right there. Let me just save here so I don't have to go through all Sholmes throwing shade in my direction as if he has any leg to stand on. Jerk. What a jerk. What a jerk. Oh, I can save here too? Oh, this is great. Never mind. I'm gonna save it here.
Yes!
Okay, never mind. It's probably going to be the other thing that I was looking at then. I don't want to go through this again. Can you blame me? I don't want to be, like, admonished by frickin' Herlock Sholmes.
Yes!
Oops, I didn't mean to select that. Why did I select that again? It was the report itself.
Yes!
Oh, really? Let's see here, another piece of evidence that proves that this was no accident. So I can't, there's nothing else here. I don't know, is it? Okay. So, and then it's the newspaper article, I guess? Yeah. I don't know if
Yes!
it fits. No, why is it that? We pulled that up. So it's not that. We know it's not that.
Yes!
Yeah, it's not that. What is the game trying to... What is it trying to convince me? What is the game trying to convince me to choose? Like, I don't know,
Yes!
it's not this. Really? Okay, then. I didn't really think this would be it. Yeah, what is the flaw? Oh, yeah, a fatal flaw, yes. That's a good point there. Okay, 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 I buy this. I buy this. Like, okay, I think it was really silly of me to go and select the newspaper, but... I don't know. Like... Did she commit a murder? Seriously? It's not intuitive, but it is important, and I'm glad that the game went back to this.
Hold it!
Wait, what? Here's a question. Does the wardrobe move?
Yes!
Oh, there we go. That's the laughing animation we've missed for the past while. Yeah, what? Oh, maybe. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't think she did
Hold
it.
it!
I don't think she did it. Uh-huh. I give my tooth. Is that a Russian saying? Like, say I will give a tooth to affirm my position on the matter? Yeah, but the word wardrobe was written down. Why? Well, I guess no, the answer has been given, but then... Yeah, but what if the wardrobe itself is the door? Ah, Susato to the rescue. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense there, Jeff. Yeah, it's the ship suddenly stopping, which explains why everyone has a fucking headache. Hmm. Where would you do it from here? Where is it asking me to do this?
Yes!
No, that's not it. How do I present the ship suddenly stopping? Oh, wait, the bookshelf. The bookshelf. The fucking bookshelf. It's the bookshelf. It's the damn bookshelf. That's what it is. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. I get it. I get it. Yep. I didn't need to be admonished by Sholmes once again. Alright, let's save this here so I don't have to go through this again. So it's the bookshelf. Is it not going to give me any indication? It's not going to give me any indication, is it?
Yes!
Okay, well, okay, so it's not going to give me anything. It's just literally find somewhere on the map and then on the screen and just select it. Okay. Alright, well, that's one way of depicting it, I guess. And of course, the lock can go on its own. Oh, wait, but this is the point where we do not have general relativity, so the standard model doesn't quite exist yet. And as a result, we rely on Newtonian physics. Are we going to suddenly stop the ship? Sholmes would just frickin' like... It would be wild to watch him just go on and on about... Like, it is quantum physics. String theory is at play here. I have the solution for what gravity is. Bonk. What a awful design that is, because like most of those locks usually would like lift up and then go over, and you could actually still open it from the outside. So what a terrible design. Then again, it is the late 1800s, so like, you know, safety practices didn't really exist in the 19th century the way that we know it now. Yeah, we don't lock anyone in factories anymore these days, don't we? Yeah, I'm a little surprised too. It's kind of silly when you think about it. Door user experience, Jesus. She probably, whoever did this left the door, pulled on the damn thing. Yeah, see, this is pretty much it. Well, terrifying that anyone could just stop a ship in the middle of the ocean, like anyone on the boat can. It's interesting how I don't even know what the word to describe this is, but I don't know if I'd want to rest that in the ability of my passengers necessarily. Sounding an alarm, sure, that's perfectly normal and I think is acceptable. But the ability to straight up stop the ship? I don't know if I like that feature. So many people are still locked in their room because they have a concussion from last night. Good, because the ship logs. Can I show the back of my head?
Yes!
It is yours, but you didn't keep it up to date. Yep, nothing was recorded in the log. Yep, but there's a simple solution, or sorry, rather a simple answer to this there, Hosonaga. The headache you have from that is not from the consumption, but rather the fact that you whacked your head last night. Yes, but if all of a sudden, right? Like, everyone's been talking about having a throbbing headache, and as far as I know, none of them were out drinking late last night because, for the most part, none of them were aware of each other on the ship. Like, come on. By the table scraps. All the table scraps. Are we gonna get to tryptophan? Are we talking about tryptophan here? Oh my god, we're talking about tryptophan. We're gonna be talking about frickin' tryptophan. Well, okay, I guess. Does chicken even have tryptophan? Like, I know turkey does, but... You know, sleeping drugs do give you a hangover. Like, I'm just trying to think if it's, not... I'm trying to remember the drug. I've taken it a couple of times, and, like, you do sleep, but you end up getting the sleep that's on par with, like, a lack of REM sleep that's induced by, you know, drinking too much. So... We're dealing with poisons again. Well, I'm glad we're not doing this tryptophan stuff, because that would have been like... What is she, the revolutionary? Okay. Oh wow, they just put the pill in the damn thing. Okay. Was Kazuma. I liked her. This is once again proving that I cannot like any cute women in this game. Like, I want her coat now, but now I kind of feel like this coat is tainted. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a common theme through all of this. You're gonna be like, oh, she's cool, and then you're gonna go, oh, never mind, I don't want to deal with you. All of the doors have to be closed, locked. Stroganoff seems a little pissed at us. Bum, bum, bum. I love this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey, Stroganoff, you're in for a treat. It's time for a treat, Stroganoff. You have yet to witness this. Yep, here we go. On this train we go. Oh my god.
Yes!
Cool. Stroganoff is working towards being a Harlequin author. What caused the purple stain? I just don't want to go through another admonishment by Sholmes' hand. Like, honestly, I just don't want another admonishment.
Yes!
No, I don't want to go through this. It's the photo, then. Don't want to go through it.
Yes!
Okay, it was that. It was like, that was my other option anyway, so... I was like, well... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, hey, we just turned the photo into color. You get a game over. We've actually made it happen during, I think it was Ace Attorney 1 or Ace Attorney 2. I got one game over. I did save at an appropriate point, but then I had to endure the entire you fucked up sequence. No, you just start from wherever you last saved. You get the option, just go do that. It doesn't kill your save file, fortunately. I'm kind of glad for that, to say the least. Alright, are we getting another explanation about how things happened? It would have been a nice touch if they just had her say that in Cyrillic. Alright, so I don't exactly hate her, but she still covered up this. Oh my god, kid. You're just a frickin' mess. A little furry friend, yeah, I know. Hey, Ivy. Hope you're doing well. Susato is like, I'm not having any of this. Well, that's good to hear. At least I could read that Cyrillic. Can we take the handcuffs off of Ryu now? I presume we have. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, Sholmes, what do you have to tell us? Yep, congratulations. You know how to use a camera in the 1880s. Uh-huh, yep. It is very unfortunate. Where's the kitten? Alright, 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 alright. What is this gonna be? I have no idea. Oh my god. What is it asking for? Well, here's the obvious answer. We know he's dead because his bandana's not flying in the air. But in any event, see, that's his right hand. What is the unnatural part? What did it say earlier? Yeah, see, there's a hint right there, right?
Yes!
Is that what it's going for? Yeah, okay. Where's this game going? Hey, Sean, why don't you just tell us what the fuck it is? Wait, did he, like...
Yes!
The way he braced his fall. Okay, okay, good. Because I was like thinking, like, you would, if you were to like trip, you would try and brace your fall if you're conscious. Like, if you're conscious at the moment and, like, falling, right? So, because I kept looking at his fist and it did seem a little bit weird, but then it makes perfect sense, right? Like, okay, so what's with the fist then? The cat's in the fist, right? That's what's in the fist. It's the cat. And she wouldn't be mad if she'd be Miss. Interesting. It's because it's one of her earrings. It's one of the earrings. The fuck is she up to? I don't understand what's going on here. What did she do? She's into Sailor Moon. That's what it means. You know, 100 years off, but you know, she was just really a Rabbit fan.
Yes!
Okay. All right. This has piqued my curiosity. That's for sure. Yeah, why did he do that? I know, right? I actually have been thinking that the whole time, and I was like, why does she have a cat and not a dog? But whatever. Alright, I think we've concluded this. The ventilator, okay. No. So where's the cat? Huh? Okay. I know, I want to know where the cat is too. Oh shit. Asuma, you dummy. Oh, come. Oh, jeez. Oh, the whole... Oh, no. Oh, no. Wow. Jesus Christ. It was a misunderstanding, but it was also an attempt at murder. Okay, well, that's... Yikes. That's a yikes. That's a visual right there. Holy crap. Amazing. That is... I have a level of empathy for her, but that's a hell of a way to make a man go, right? He'll never come back. Like, yeah. I definitely... I had a lot of mixed feelings about this woman right now. Like, it definitely is like a case of her trying to protect herself, but also a case of it being an accident. Like, there's just so much at play here. Well, she pushed him because she thought that she was going to get outed for being a runaway, and she thought that the thing was going to be pulled to alert the ship, but he was actually going to go get Kazuma to get some advice on what to do. So she did kill him. I'm gonna remain a little bit silent on the rest of this here, but in a roundabout way, it was self-defense. There's, like, it's her fault, straight up. Like, there's nothing to say about it, but, like, It was to protect herself. I don't know. And threw it in the trash. Yeah. I genuinely don't... Like, she did something wrong, that's the truth, but at the same time, like, I don't know how to actually feel about her. Like, I'm having a hard time feeling negative in her direction, despite the fact that she did something mortally wrong. But was it justified? I don't know. This is somebody who can nuance this stuff better than me can give a better answer, but like, I'm having a hard time feeling like she... I don't think of her as a criminal. That's the problem. Like, she did something wrong, but I don't think she necessarily did something... I don't know. This is such a tough problem. Yeah, sure, Ivy. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, she doesn't have any clue to what's going on, and to be fair, I would question if some adults would know what to do in this scenario. Like, she doesn't really have, like, the luxury of being able to think critically about this because she's in a dire situation to start with. Alright, Sasato, how are you gonna chop her down a couple of, Right, Sasato's asking the question that everyone would ask. No, he wasn't. He was gonna go and talk to Kazuma. Sorry, to, Ryu. Yeah, we know the answer. I know the answer. I know what this evidence is gonna be. Yeah, this is gonna be an easy one. If I get this wrong, y'all can laugh about it, but... Bong, 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 bong. Bong, bong, bong. Bong, bong. Bong, 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 bong. Bong, bong, bong. Bong, bong. Bong, 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 bong. Thanks, web captioner. Thank you so much. And that's what he was trying to do. He was going to wake Kazuma up to get advice.
Take that!
Who's been drugged because you need to get on this boat. This is really, this would be so hard on this 15-year-old girl. Seriously, this is just... Yeah, it only took, like, you know, so many attempts to squeeze it out of her, but okay. Oh, wow, that's... Oh, we have an entire ocean to sail through there, Ivy. And Ryu is not going to jail anymore. Aw, well, she'll just be imprisoned in Great Britain as opposed to in Russia. Seaman Stroganoff, yep. That's a thought. Anyway. 2 liters of warm pill? Jesus, that's pretty cruel. Thank you, Emma. Thank you so fucking much for being on the same page as me. Osanaga is such a drag. Oh, you learned quite a bit on this trip. This is number 2 in Great Ace Attorney. I betcha it's Sasada, yeah. What a big ass room. Now, for a woman who can basically pick up Ryu and throw him up in the air, she has rather small hands. I won't get into this because I might end up spoiling something. It says Sholmes. Oh wait, it's Naruhodo. Sorry, Osanaga. Jesus, Carrie. Hey, Osanaga, why don't you just send us to Great Britain instead? Send us to Great Britain, because that's where we need to go. That's where we're going. Sholmes, you're such a dick. Yeah, it does. But it knows what Sherlock... Sorry, excuse me. Herlock Sholmes is. I'm not gonna kink shame Sholmes here, but he needs to learn a little bit of fucking consent. Yeah, it only took him 8 hours to get to this point. Here we go. There's the queue. There's the queue. What if we don't disembark? Why don't you make the full report, you lazy shit? but never mentioned a name. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Sholmes. Sholmes to the rescue. Yep, and guess who's the lawyer here? Susato, don't you remember what we were just doing like a couple of days ago? And Susato goes, "Hey, Ryu, little fucker." Or maybe, like, I'll just go like, a trip to Japan, sorry, to Great Britain on the Japanese government's dime sounds nice. But I have played one on TV. Yeah, I can learn how to become a lawyer in a month, right? You just do it through, like, Wikipedia. Just Wikipedia your way through court. This is where Jeff chimes in, and he'll tell us that that somebody has used Wikipedia to make their way through, like, the bar or some shit like that, and has failed miserably or whatever. I went on Curiosity Stream, and I learned how to become a lawyer. Click here to find out how. By the way, Ivy, just for the record, Jeff is actually a lawyer. There's a reason why I go like, well, Jeff probably has a couple of stories about people who had no business passing the bar, but did. Oh, shit. We are gonna try and basically speedrun the bar exam, aren't we? Well, I have a month to speedrun the bar exam, everyone. Cannot wait. Bar exam any percent. Any passing percent, rather. Which state bar? Well, hold on a second. If we just go out into international waters, we can just study whatever law we decide. It's the law of the sea, after all. Is there a bar exam for, like, international waters? You just have to go, what is it, 200 nautical miles is the, limit? Oh wait, this is 1890, sorry, 1880s, so... That's a very fine question. Yes, but there's also, like, okay, so there's an economic exclusion zone that goes about, that exists as well. So 8 miles is not really the law. Economic exclusion zones are a relatively new thing, that said. They're like a product of the 1980s or 1990s. But basically, there's a reason why, like, you have like a 200 nautical mile, excuse me, exclusion zone, and you're allowed to use it for fishing and oil and gas and that sort of thing. And that is also why Canada, France, and the United States actually all have borders around each other in the Atlantic. Because, of course, France naturally has an EEZ because of St. Pierre, which is off the coast of Newfoundland. Yeah, I've speedrun things before. How hard could speedrunning the bar be? I love her smile. It's nice to see Susato smiling. 1982, so there we go. Yeah, it predates it by a complete century. Like, 1 century passed before EEZs were a thing. Haruma, the Japanese word for car. Well, when did shell artillery become a thing? Okay. Is she gonna throw us up in the air? Wait. No, I'd rather I didn't. I don't want to throw you in the air, please. I did threaten to cut your hands off earlier, but you know, that was just me in shock. How about a hug? Can I just give you 4 hugs? Okay, hey, Susato, just chill a little bit here. Jeff, I think a cybersecurity background plus law school would do wonders for a certain person, wouldn't it? Yeah, my house fund is definitely looking less impressive as we go along. Yes, you can't, but you can be, I think you can be jailed in certain places for impersonating the ability to be a lawyer. Like, there's the premise of that terrible ABC show, or whatever TV network that was. Suits, that's what it was called. That's a terrible show, by the way. I didn't like it. I found it to be terrible. The more and more I watched of it, the more and more I hated everyone involved. Hey, wait, what? Oh, well. Well, that was fun. Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with her, admittedly. You know, giving Ryu a concussion when he has a month to learn to become a lawyer is a little bit mean and unnecessary. Haruma, it's Japanese for car. Yeah, well, if you drive a car, it does take you places. Back when his bandana still worked. Yeah, he's gonna be our spirit guide. Hey, that's the end of chapter 2. Wow. Okay. Hey, look at that. Crash Course candidate awarded. We've completed law school according to this. Alright. I actually do want to play a little bit more. It's only 8:30. Let's get through a little bit more of this. I'm gonna take a quick little break, maybe about 10 minutes, because we've been at this for what, 3.5 hours? Um, yeah, so yeah, give me about 10 minutes and I'll be right back. And we'll start off case, or rather episode 3.